Hello and welcome back to Foos Entertainment. This time for my review of 2009's Wrong Turn 3, Left 4 Dead. This is probably my least favorite one in the entire franchise. This is one I'll probably rant on more than all the others. Don't get me wrong. Wrong Turn 2, Dead End, obviously had its problems too. Forgive me this, I'm making a shake as well while I'm working here. Basically, Wrong Turn 2 felt like a televised cheap B-movie. It did, but it had a lot of things I liked about it. In terms of Wrong Turn 3, Left 4 Dead, this film tries to be so many things that it's not. It tries to be a prison break movie. It tries to be a criminal attraction. What do you mean by criminal attraction? Well, then we used the term when I described this in the last review that kind of does a similar thing. But it's pretty much a horror movie that is aimed at criminals. I get that kind of vibe with this movie. Another movie, of course, that did the same thing was Saw 2, which I also did not like. Although it's the one that everybody likes, I don't. I can certainly say that very interesting how they made this particular installment in the Wrong Turn franchise. They decided to film this one in England. So, although they don't sound like it, everybody in the movie is from England in real life. So they literally altered their voices to actually sound like U.S. Canadian people. That we can sit in with the atmosphere of West Virginia, which is where all these films take place. But the plot of it takes place in real time again, so it takes place in 2009. This is the last one that does take place in real time. The movies that follow this do not. And basically, starts off with one subplot routine where you have these young 20-something-year-old college-like students who are on a river rafting trip, and all but one of them dies a grisly death, strategically, from the inbred hillbillies in these movies that we are familiar with. And again, that one old-looking one is in this film. Now, it makes sense for him to be in 4, 5. I have not seen 6. I don't know if he's in that one. Makes sense with that, but he was shot point-blank range with a shotgun. Not even just a regular shotgun, a double-barrel shotgun. Right here. No one can survive that. But supposedly this inbred hillbilly can. And he's our lead villain in the movie. It's really him. And it really has to do with him and, I guess, his son. And, well, obviously, the survivor goes into hiding, and then we go into our main story. To evade a planned escape from a federal penitentiary, a Cuban or Mexican cartel leader who has been incapacitated is planning his escape when he's transferred from one federal prison to another. To evade this, they schedule the transportation early on the prison bus to try to avoid him attempting this to escape. Well, on their way in the bus with a few other inmates. So yeah, our would-be victims are all criminals. Like I said, this is attracted to criminal people. And of course, our two main victims, because everybody's a victim except for the sheriff and, of course, the survivor from the river rafting group of people. In a lot of ways, everybody actually does die in this movie, but we'll get to that a little bit later. There are the two main prison, inmates. You had the Mexican cartel guy. I might add, all these people are English in real life. You'll probably recognize the guy that plays the main sort of like, I guess, prison inmate, the tough Mexican one. Which is really not actually Mexican at all. He's actually, like I said, all these people are English. I've actually been a fan of this guy's movies. I just never can remember his name. He was in Later Cake with Daniel Craig. He played a character known as Terry. He also was one of the supporting cast members in 2000 Snatch by Guy Ritchie and Matthew Vaughn. That's my ad. Matthew Vaughn directed Layer Cake. So yeah, I kind of know this guy, I just didn't remember his name. And the other one is your typical bald, big, husky-looking, tough prison guy. And they all were challenging each other for dominance, so that's one subroutine in it that's in this movie that's very annoying. And well, they obviously, the bus gets destroyed because the hillbillies throw barbed wire at the tire in the front. And then the criminals, of course, get the only guns, and they take charge of the situation. And supposedly our main sheriff, who I guess is our protagonist in the movie, used to live in the area. Well, I guess on a small little thought, if you used to live in the area, why can't you warn people about the inbred freaking hillbillies that are cannibals that feed on people? I mean, they've been doing it, according to the film series timeline, they've been doing it for the past 40 fucking years. I think you could definitely know about it, unless you really covered the tracks that well. We get more into their backstory, obviously, in the next films to come, because they are prequels to these first three movies. Then you stumble across another band, and I guess in the van there's millions of dollars in cash. So they take the cash. And then one by one, the rest of the criminals are strategically killed by the hillbillies. They do make one thing, real mistake, which I think is kind of cool, but also at the same time a big, big mistake. Our main villain, which of course is our reoccurring hillbilly, it's all bald on top and has like that long ass hair and all white, and he's always doing that type of smile all the time. I don't know why the hell he smiles like that all the time, but he's our main villain in this one. Well, they come across the sun, they survive their attack from the sun, and basically they send a message by pretty much playing homage to the Pike head sequence in the Walking Dead novels, as well as, of course, in season 9's very tragic episode, The Calm Before the Storm, I think is what's called. Or actually, I think it's just called The Calm Before, where you have that famous Pike head scene. But yeah, they do that with the main villain's son, and that really pisses him off. So, yeah, some pretty crazy shit there. Eventually, the two alpha male inmates get greedy and want to cancel each other out, so they try to kill each other. That doesn't quite work. And of course, because of all that controversy and chaos that's going on, the rest of them are pretty much killed. But in the movie, oh yeah, there's another character. One of the inmates is actually a former military operative of some kind. He actually helps out our main protagonist. Of course, his real motivation is that he is a con artist and he's a greedy bastard. He wants the money, which of course is part of the cliffhanger of the movie. So, this time, I think that this hillbilly was indeed dead. I think it was some other hillbilly at the end of the movie in the cliffhanger. Because stabbed him multiple times, even threw like a fishing hook thing for the head when it comes to our main hillbilly in bread, as well as blowing up the truck with him on top of it. Yeah, I don't think this guy's coming back again. I think they actually got him this time. And of course, they let the military convict go because he helped them. Yeah, I helped them. And then, of course, our two main characters, which is the surviving river rafter and our main sheriff, survived the night. See the sunrise, and they talk about how we survived. Money's nowhere to be seen. Then we see the sheriff in plain dress clothes trying to get the money, just to be stabbed and killed with an arrow through the back by the military convict. And then we see don't see the face or anything like that. You just see the feet and the weapon. The Inbred Hillbilly kills that guy. You just hear him screaming in the background, and that's how the movie ends. So there's a cliffhanger. Like I said, it's always a big thing with these movies. So it has to be some sort of gag cliffhanger at the end. Well, quality. Again, this movie is made in 2009, so it actually is in high definition. So all the movies are filmed in high. No, sorry, all the films are in high definition, but one wasn't actually filmed in high definition and it shows. This one, like the previous one, was filmed in high definition, and it does show that it was filmed in high definition. This one is a little bit more cooler temperature than the last one, but still has too much warmness to it. But like I said, these Archer films, at least 2 and 3, kind of feel like they were televised movies. Which brings us to the audio. The audio in this movie is terrible. It might as well just be a stereo surround track because there's really nothing going on around the room. There's no real effects or anything. It's pretty lame. So no, it did not balance stuff out. So we're kind of like it was part 2. The video's good, the audio sucks. Although the audio officially is in 5.1 surround, the audio sucks. It is unfortunate. Maybe Wrong Turn 4 Blade Beginnings will actually have good audio as well as good video. I remember that one looking pretty freaking good. Can't say I remember if it sounded really good or not, so I'll find out obviously tonight after my shift at work. Review that tomorrow. But yeah, those are my thoughts on 2009's Wrong Turn 3, Left 4 Dead. Well, like I say, I'm very, very happy that Chapter 2 is coming out this Friday. And I'm thinking I actually might go ahead and do to where I take a camera with me and film me driving. Not as I'm driving, obviously, I don't want to be dangerous, but when I get in the car, when I get to the Cinemark, and then post when you get back in the car, and then at home reviewing it. And let's see, what else? Oh yeah, when these days, the last 2 reviews I have posted, you might have noticed that it said premiere on them. Well, if you guys actually keep an eye on this channel, when I might find a way to schedule it, but I'm actually doing premieres of these videos, which means that if you can catch a premiere, you can ask me questions or post a comment while watching the premiere, and I always watch the premieres myself. So I will be there to answer your questions if you actually would like to pick my mind a little bit about movies and about my picks, maybe some other things. I would be very happy to answer your questions during the 15 minutes that the video is premiering. As always, leave a comment or a like or a question or anything anytime you want down below in the comment section of my videos, and I will do my best to try to get back to you. Very busy man, of course. Well, that's pretty much all for this installment of Fist Entertainment. I'll see you guys next time for Wrong Turn 4, Bloody Beginnings. Until then.